Caitlin Clark is an underdog. Serena told Caitlin Clark,
I just love that she tries to stay grounded, and she says she doesn't. What did she say? She doesn't have a social. She doesn't look at her social, and I get it. I don't either, and I think it's so important to continue to do what she's doing, and no matter what other people do, then if people are negative, it's because they can't do what you.
Angel Reese's focus on boosting her stats has become concerning, as she continues to accumulate impressive numbers in games that are already well decided.
this is Angel Reese. Watch this clip. She says the following. Go ahead and play it. She needs a lot of attention. Go ahead.
We watching women's basketball. It's not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that. Like, it's not just because of one person.
We don't get to say, well, Joe Rogan is number one and we are important too, because that's not how podcast and competition works. You know who tells you you're good? The flipping market tells you're good. By the way, you know when's the last time I watched a WNBA game? Never. Till today. I've still not watched a WNBA.
Her recent performance against the Indiana Fever exemplifies this pattern. Despite the Fever maintaining a commanding lead, Reese remained on the court, intent on padding her double-double stats in the final minutes, while the Fever's star players rested on the bench. She took advantage of the situation, racking up points and grabbing rebounds against the opposing team's bench players.
Reese is playing against Caitlin Clark, okay? They have this big game going on. Neither one of them are the best teams in the league, but she gets fouled, Caitlin Clark does, and this is how Angel Reese, who she became a champion, by the way, in college. I think she won the championship. Caitlin Clark in the championship.
Exactly, 2 years ago.
However, for whatever reason, the audience likes watching Caitlin more because she's more exciting than Angel. But watch what she says after the way she fouls Caitlin Clark. Go ahead and play this clip.
Inside, I think we were playing really hard. I think we went up really strong a lot of times, and we didn't get a lot of calls. And going back and looking at the film, I've seen a lot of calls that weren't made. I guess some people got a special.
Reese finished the game with 10 points and 11 rebounds, but the manner in which she reached those numbers has drawn criticism from both fans and sports analysts. Dwayne Wade openly called out Reese for padding her stats during garbage time, frustrating those who viewed her actions as unsportsmanlike. His comments ignited a debate about whether Reese's impressive double-double streak is as authentic as it appears. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark's stellar performance, leading the Fever to a dominant victory with 31 points and 12 assists, was overshadowed by the controversy surrounding Reese's tactics.
Caitlin Clark does maybe better than anybody in sports right now and makes it about others, makes it about team. Think about it. When's the last time you didn't see Caitlin Clark talking about a teammate? When's the last time you saw Caitlin Clark talking about herself or any of the accomplishments that she has had? Let me give you the answer to that. Never! Never! You never hear that. Now, that's why their team has gotten good. She could have been an egomaniac. Everybody in the league knows that she is the league.
Instead of celebrating Clark's achievements, much of the conversation has shifted to Reese's questionable stat-padding tactics. As the WNBA season progresses, it's uncertain whether Angel Reese will continue inflating her stats in blowout losses or shift toward a more sportsmanlike approach, focusing on helping her team grow and improve.
Sky are falling off the map in the second half of the season. Why? Well, they got a star, right? Everybody tells me Angel Reese is an absolute star. Look at all the double-doubles. Oh, my God. Well, Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky have made it about Angel Reese, not about the Chicago Sky. Even last night, if you look at it, what they have? Barbie night. We're giving out towels, blah, 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 blah. And when you see Angel Reese, what does she do? She's walking in with look at me outfits. It's about me. When you see Caitlin Clark, what do you see? It's about we. Angel Reese is coming off. Hey, look, won the national championship 1 year, got to the Final Four. The next really successful career, but like most that come in the WNBA, nobody cares. So Angel Reese is coming in, and she's swimming upstream two ways. One, her team's not very good. Two, she's second fiddle to a little white girl over here, Caitlin Clark. And that pisses her off. On the second half of the season and the second half of this game, the team that was more together was clearly the Indiana Fever, and the Indiana Fever routed.
One thing is certain. Reese's behavior has ignited an important discussion about fairness and respect in professional basketball. You won't see the Chicago Sky asking Elena Del Don to intentionally foul for easy free throw points or requesting Tana Charles to do the same. And you certainly wouldn't catch Teresa Weatherspoon leaving a player in just to pat their stats when the game's outcome is already decided. Frankly, it reflects poorly on the Sky and comes across as unprofessional.
I think there's some people, first of all, I think it's jealousy. I don't want to get in, there's a lot of articles out there that are using the R word and talking about this. I think it is pure, unadulterated jealousy. And the last clip from Angel Reese, they're watching me too. They're watching me too. It's like she's begging us to believe in her validation. Whereas the numbers, words talk, Angel, numbers scream, and the numbers are screaming that the fans are coming for.
Take, for instance, the moment when Aaliyah Boston received a technical foul just before halftime. Heading into the third quarter, if you're a coach focused on winning, who do you choose to take the free throws? Lindsay Allen? Rachel Bam? Wrong. Teresa Weatherspoon sends Angel Reese to the line, a decision that underscores the team's lack of seriousness and ultimately damages their credibility. It's no surprise Kalia Copper, along with Kennedy Carter, Marina Mabry, Dana Evans, and Camila Cardoso are eager to leave. Some players just want to focus on basketball. Not everyone is chasing podcast fame, influencer deals, or acting gigs.
Should there be a co-rookie of the year? Because Angel Reese is, of course, doing historical things with her double-doubles as a rookie, and Caitlin Clark already has set 1 million records and looks completely unstoppable, especially when it comes to dishing. And it feels like we are both on the same page here.
Some athletes are in the WNBA to excel in their sport, but instead of focusing on improving her free throws, post moves, or mid-range shot, Angel Reese seems more interested in starring in wicked commercials. After watching nearly all of the Chicago Sky games and every Indiana Fever matchup, it's become clear that Reese's double-doubles aren't contributing much to the team's success or morale. The priority seems to be inflating Reese's stats, even at the expense of team chemistry, as Rachel Bannum bluntly stated in a post-game interview. If getting blown out doesn't motivate you to improve, maybe it's time to take a hard look at ourselves, she said. What should have been a night to celebrate Barbie turned into Caitlin Clark's showcase, with even rival fans cheering her on in a stadium that was supposed to be hostile.
Scoring leader in Iowa. One person takes it to the finals. She loses, but they had nobody else. And she scored more points in college than Pistol Pete Maravich, who he died in an interesting way. Yeah. So why do you think it's happening? Why do you think it's happening?
You're picking one word. One word. Is
DEI.
Is it race?
No.
Wokeness.
Is it race?
No.
Stats.
Feminism.
No.
Progressive.
It's one word to me, and it's underdog.
With just under 4 minutes remaining on the clock, the crowd gave Caitlin Clark a standing ovation as she exited the court, marking her third 30-point game of the season.
Clark could be raising the tide and lifting all boats, and I think Angel Reese needs to take a pill because there is a great opportunity here, and I think jealousy is reigning supreme.
Despite it being meant to be hostile territory, Caitlin Clark received a hero's send-off. Is this really the opponent's arena in Chicago? I saw more Caitlin Clark jerseys than anything else. Her jersey is quickly becoming the WNBA equivalent of a Yankees cap. Everywhere you look, Fever fans are sporting Clark's name from jerseys to t-shirts, creating an atmosphere reminiscent of an NCAA tournament.
Nobody was talking about your league. Nobody cared about the WNBA until that girl. That girl, Caitlin Clark, I don't care what color she is. She's ridiculous. She's nasty. And now people are watching and you guys are talking shit about her. Like, what are you guys doing? They're sabotaging the whole thing. She should leave. She should have got those other contracts. Where does she have a contract to go somewhere else?
The Big Three.
She should have gone to the Big Three. To hell with the WNBA. They're nothing. They're nobody. No one's watching.
They lost $50 million. The WNBA lost $50 million. The only reason they make it is because the NBA kind of gives money to them to help them out. It's a lost cause every year. It's a political deal.
Although it was technically an away game for the Fever, it felt like they had home court advantage with all the support they received. The night couldn't have gone worse for the Sky. Clark stole the show, the Fever secured the win, and Reese padded her stats during meaningless minutes, adding to the disappointment. To top it off, Caitlin Clark was knocked down by Diamond Day Shields in one of 2 flagrant fouls committed against her.
She's asked about the foul. Look how different the response is.
About Angel Reese, what's going through your mind and how you just stay within yourself to finish the game?
What's going through my mind is I need to make these 2 free throws. That's all I'm thinking about. It's just a part of basketball. It is what it is.
trying
to make a play on the ball and get the block. But yeah, I mean, it happens. And those free throws, when you have to shoot them with nobody at the line, are kind of hard. So it's a little different than having people at the line. So I was just trying to focus on making.
Honestly, how can that even be considered part of the game? It didn't resemble a basketball play in any way. And once again, it highlights the poor management under Teresa Weatherspoon.
Goes into a league filled with lesbian blacks and beats their asses.
It's crucial to acknowledge the troubling history in America of white women being perceived as needing protection from people of color and the damage this has caused. Given this context, it's concerning, though not surprising, that harmful narratives about the WNBA could perpetuate similar toxic attitudes. In their recent games against the Sun and now the Fever, the Sky have engaged in dirty tactics, including repeated flagrant fouls from their players. The team appears disorganized, with the star player avoiding post-game interviews to dodge tough questions. For instance, Kennedy Carter's actions, such as shoving Caitlin Clark and showing a lack of engagement, raise questions about who is truly in charge. Is it Carter Reese, or is Teresa Weatherspoon still calling the shots? At this point, it's hard to discern.
I think I don't think the WNBA is ready for this type of attention that she's bringing to them. That attitude. There was another player that was crying after a regular season game, and you said the R word, Tom. I don't know why you were blocking it. Racism. Everybody's talking.
The Chicago Sky are clearly frustrated at the moment. They're unhappy with the attention the incident involving Diamond D Shield's body-checking Caitlin Clark has received, as highlighted by the Chicago Tribune and Chicago Sun-Times. The media coverage has become a major talking point, and the Sky are displeased with the spotlight it's casting on them. If this is what's causing such an uproar among fans, they might just be the most sensitive fan base in the country, even more so than those in California or LA.
NBA viewership, okay? Game. 7,300 in attendance, okay? The average Angel Reese game is 10,100, 10,200. They come to watch her. You know what the average attendance is when Caitlin Clark plays home or the road?
What?
15,300.
Wow.
Okay? 15,300. Do you know what Caitlin Clark just got the contract from Nike?
If this is what's upsetting you, you're definitely not ready for real sports coverage. If this bothers you, consider how the media treats figures like A-Rod Jeter, Aaron Boone, Jalen Hurts, or A.J. Brown. Remember how they push Andy Reid out? Come on, Chicago Sky fans, it's time to toughen up.
Of the year, it is the rookie who has had the biggest impact on their team, and it's unequivocally, and the odds are saying that it's even distancing itself even further, that it's Caitlin Clark. She is leading in all of the statistical categories as a rookie, minus rebounds. Obviously, Angel Reese is averaging a double-double, but the impact on the team, we are talking again at nauseum about Caitlin Clark leading as a rookie the Fever to the playoffs for the first time since 2016. They are ahead of the Chicago Sky. So I think, to me, if this is even breaching a conversation of splitting this, it might as well be, hey, you're a rookie, here's an award. You're also a rookie, here's just an award for being...
Maybe if you focus more on winning games rather than padding your stats, you'd start seeing better results. Instead, you traded away your best perimeter player, and now Kennedy Carter and Dana Evans won it out because of this obsession with empty double-doubles. It seems like Tamara Smith, Aaliyah Boston, and Dana Bonner decided to put an end to the Rookie of the Year talk. They locked down on defense and left no room for competition, and that's exactly what they did. It's done, settled, and shipped off.
It's race-baiting rhetoric that's adding fuel to a fire. It's like enough with the racist BS. She's nasty. She knows how to ball. Everybody else is jealous. They're pissed off because again, it's ridiculous. And we're never going to advance as a species. And we're never, if he keeps having that type of attitude, it's ridiculous. It's like what? Everything has to go back to race. Everything has to keep going back to race. She's really good. Let it be that. Everything about her is white, and he's going on these anti-white race things about her and how black personalities would be more successful if they were white. It's unattractive. It's making this
The Rookie of the Year race might be over, but now questions are being raised about whether stat padding has been a season-long issue. While Angel Reese has been accumulating double-doubles, Caitlin Clark has been steadily pulling ahead, with the gap widening with each game. Despite perceptions, Clark emphasizes that individual awards are not their focus. Everyone's trying to make it about that, she said before the game. But we're fighting for playoff spots, and that's our priority. Winning games is what matters, plain and simple, and the results are proving that. Indiana has now won 3 straight games in 5 of their last 6. On Friday, the Fever had assists on 26 of their 32 field goals and committed only 11 turnovers, while Chicago could only score 5 points off those turnovers. Honestly, it's about time.
About sort of what has been an undercurrent this whole entire year and calling out people for their perceived hate on Caitlin Clark. And as someone that has already stepped into this space and was called numerous names on both sides of this argument, for people in the media, Caitlin Clark has become such a lightning rod that in many ways, I'm going to liken it to sort of Voldemort.
Clark emphasized that building chemistry with teammates takes time. You need to understand each other, and that understanding grows with experience. I'll only get more comfortable the more I play, she said. Chicago's issues aren't solely on Reese. The Sky's offensive firepower has been inconsistent. Marina Mabrey, who was traded before the Olympic break, remains their second leading scorer, yet they struggle to close out tight games. They've lost 6 games by 4 points or less, including 3 during their recent slump. On Friday, Chicago had a 13-point lead in the first quarter, but ended up losing by 19. It took a 10-2 run in garbage time just to slightly close the gap.
I'm watching WNBA stats because I want to hate on the WNBA as much as possible because they're a zombie company that is losing money, which I'll touch on in a second. Here's the reality. Antonio Brown, friend of the show, he came out and said that the WNBA is...
I don't know if it's a friend. I think it's a parody what you're saying, but keep going.
He's been on the show.
Yeah.
Shout out to AB. He says that it's a charity case for lesbians. And the reality is the WNBA is hemorrhaging money. You just said $50 million this year. It's a zombie company. Name another company that just loses money. And we're like, yeah, let's keep talking about this company for the last 20.
We're struggling to execute in crucial moments, and it's something we need to fix, said Clark. As I mentioned before the game, nobody wants to keep losing. It's tough for everyone. Both Clark and Reese are poised for long, successful careers, but for now, Clark has the upper hand this season. The comparison between them will continue, but Clark's performance this year stands out.
I hate her because she's white, she's straight, and more importantly, she's better than everybody else. Period. End of story.
Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky are gearing up to face Caitlin Clark in their upcoming game, eager to shake things up. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever are riding high on winning streak.
But this is expected of Caitlin Clark. She's supposed to be great. She's not the Rookie of the Year. Angel Reese is, because that's a surprise, which to me is wrong, because Angel Reese was the best player on the team that won a national championship in college. It's not like she came out of
nowhere. Orianda Jacob, a well-known influencer and marketer, appeared on Jason Whitlock's podcast Fearless *. During the conversation, she compared Caitlin Clark, the rising star of women's basketball, to pop sensation Taylor Swift. Jacob expressed her hesitation to engage with Clark, fearing the backlash from her passionate fan base, which Jacob referred to as Clark's fans. Jacob said, "Caitlin Clark is the Taylor Swift of women's sports. We do not mess with Taylor Swift. We do not mess with Caitlin Clark because the Swifties will come for you. The Swifties, or whatever you want to call them, will come for you."
Sky are falling off the map in the second half of the season. Why? Well, they got a star, right? Everybody tells me Angel Reese is an absolute star. Look at all the double-doubles. Oh, my God. Well, Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky have made it about Angel Reese, not about the Chicago Sky. Even last night, if you look at it, what they have? Barbie night. We're giving out towels, blah, 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 blah. And when you see Angel Reese, what does she do? She's walking in with look at me outfits. It's about me. When you see Caitlin Clark, what do you see? It's about we. Angel Reese is coming off. Hey, look, won the national championship 1 year, got to the Final Four. The next really successful career, but like most that come in the WNBA, nobody cared. So Angel Reese is coming in, and she's swimming upstream 2 ways. 1, her team's not very good. 2, she's second fiddle to a little white girl over here, Caitlin Clark. And that pisses her off. On the second half of the season and the second half of this game, the team that was more together was clearly the Indiana Fever, and the Indiana Fever routed.
I think I don't think the WNBA is ready for this type of attention that she's bringing to them. That attitude. There was another player that was crying after a regular season game, and you said the R word, Tom. I don't know why you were blocking it. Racism. Everybody's talking